fans, we've made it to the home stretch of the winter season. Welcome, everybody, to Frozen Frenzy. I'm your host, of course, Tyler Beraldi. And as the stakes get raised, the intensity follows close behind. After all, it's not just the Patriots who go to sleep at night dreaming of championships. We've got some stacked rosters right here in Western Mass who are ready to put it all on the line for a chance at hanging a banner. And for many of them, for the final time. So with that, let's head directly into our lineup. And folks, we've got an elite show for you today, starting once again with our game recaps, where our matchups on the hardwood really steal the show with some can't-miss action. Then we head over to our Coach's Corner, where we're talking with Minnechaug girls basketball coach Ryan Minns about the Falcons' success at this midway point of the season. Next, we hear from our Athlete of the Week, SciTech's Denasia Banks. She hit the 1,000-point mark earlier this season, and she's talking about her motivation moving forward. And finally, we'll be taking a look at our Frozen 5 top plays from around the region. And today, we've got a set of highlights that you absolutely won't want to miss. And we're going to start off our game recaps over in West Springfield as the Westside Terriers take on the South Hadley Tigers. And both teams have had a bit of an underwhelming season, but this matchup proved you never want to back a Tiger or a Terrier into a corner. It was a back-and-forth shooting contest in the beginning of this one. Jaden Guerrero and Noah Hambly trading blows like Hagler and Hearns at the sound of a buzzer. It's South Hadley, though, who take a 7-point lead into the half, led by their big three of Hambly, Lokri, and James, finishing with 17, 14, and 14, respectively. But over on West Side, Jadil Gonzalez straight up could not miss out there. 4 threes contribute to his 26-point outing, not to mention Guerrero providing support with 15 of his own. And it comes down to the wire, but Westside shows why big cats don't belong in the dog pound. And it's the Terriers pulling ahead 55-53. Now over to Putnam, who are only 2-10 this year, hosting an Agawam team sitting just over 500. And the cold outside was not able to find its way into the Beavers gym because both them and the Brownies were on a heater. Defensive coaches, you might want to look away from this one because it was a high-scoring affair, with Putnam maintaining a narrow lead, but Christian Levy hits a few threes in the third to put them up by 10. He'd finish with 14 on the night, with 4 beyond the arc for Putnam. But Agawam wasn't going down easy. Athlete of the Week alumni Trevor Moynihan leading the charge for the Brownies with the help of Brody Sheehan pull off a fourth-quarter surge here, and ultimately it comes down to one shot with 4 seconds left for Agawam. The inbound's given to Sheehan, but the shot just doesn't fall, and Putnam holds on to survive 61-59, even after Moynihan's 27-point performance. Now we move on to a girls' game in Amherst, where the Hurricanes host the Terriers, and this one really was over before it began. The Terriers come out aggressive, pressing Amherst into multiple turnovers that, as you can imagine, lead to some quick points for Westside. It isn't until late in the first that Amherst even gets on the board, but really, they have no chance of keeping up with the relentless Terriers at that point, led by Kylie O'Brien, who finished with 14 on the night. And in the end, it was a blowout by the road team, with Westside taking down Amherst 57-26. Back to the boys now. SciTech heads over to Longmeadow. Both teams 9-3. The Cybercats won this matchup 48-37 when they played last month at home. But heading into the Lancers Arena, the Cybercats were more like the Scaredy Cats. I mean, they were keeping it close with only a 3-point gap at halftime. But after the break, Longmeadow absolutely run away with it. Jacob Millay drops a 20-piece with Alex Ferrison and Jackson Pisano, each putting up 14 for the Lancers. As for SciTech in the second half, they outright struggled to get on the board. Marcus Jones leading the team with 8, as the whole squad could only muster 31 by the end of the third. And after being held to only 2 in the fourth quarter, well, the writing was on the wall and underlined and glowing. Longmeadow dominate the revenge game at home. They take the dub 60-33. Heading over to Wilbraham now as the Minnechaug Falcons take on Amherst. And folks, the Canes did not drive all the way to Minnechaug just to show up. They came to make a statement. Mitchell Carey takes the game over across all 32 minutes, finishing with 32 points. And folks, I was really never a math guy myself, but a point per minute does sound like a pretty good ratio to me. But it wasn't just him. The big man, Sam Woodruff, gets 19 of his own, and Gale Buford adds 10 more just for good measure. As for the Falcons, Drew Grasso tried to put the team on his back with 18, but other than Miles Fergus's 10, no other Falcons are able to reach double digits. And the Hurricanes cruise to a win in Wilbraham, taking down Chog 73-59. And folks, it's now time for our Coach's Corner, where today we're talking with the coach of one of the hottest teams in Western Mass right now. That's, of course, Minnechaug girls basketball coach Ryan Minns. Coach, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Well, I'm doing pretty good. A lot better now that we have you here. Now, Minnechaug, your team last year, 14-7. Definitely a good season to say the least. But this year, we're looking at 10-3 at this point. So what's went into the adjustments this year, and what do you think's led to this success?
It probably comes down to our senior group who really kind of bought into what we're trying to do. You know, it's our third year as a coaching staff here. And our senior group, they play AAU, they lift weights in the off season, they're locked in. And their development over the past 2 years has kind of really helped us get to where we are now, which is a pretty tough team, one of the better teams in Western Mass. And, adding to that, we got some young players who are really good, who are really kind of helping, with the seniors to get us where we are.
Absolutely. I mean, it makes sense having that seniority and players that are really locked in around the clock. So with that being said, what are some of the challenges that you've had to overcome, whether it's, integrating the younger players into the system or just the bumps in the road that you would expect with a successful season like this?
We've been successful integrating new players and young players. That's my school bell. Yeah, we've been good with integrating the new players. They fit in really well. The problem with us is we've had some injuries. We lost a couple of girls from the beginning of the year. One which I don't think is going to play this year, who would be really good for us, and another one who's like just getting back now, and it's almost February. So, and like we tell the girls, the season's not going to end if somebody's hurt or injured. So people have to step up. The season's going to continue to go, and that's just opportunity for other people. And I think some of our younger players have taken advantage of that.
Yeah, it's that Belichickian, next woman up mentality that you kind of have to have if you want to compete. Now, I'm curious because we've covered this team throughout the entire season. Your highlights show up just about every week. Not this week, unfortunately, but most weeks we do have you guys. And it's been the three-point shooting I think we've highlighted a lot. Is that a deliberate effort, or is that just kind of the skills of your players that you have now?
No, we have a very skilled team, and some nights shots don't go in. We had a tough one last night, and they didn't, and then some nights they do, and we've been fortunate that more often than not, then we shoot the ball pretty well. And we've tried to encourage our girls to shoot when you're open. We don't want any hesitation. We want that ball to go up. We feel like that's a good shot for us. So yeah, you're gonna have some nights where they don't go in, and you have to live with that in order to build the confidence of your players of like, hey, if you're open, shoot the ball, and if you miss 5 in a row and the 6th one's open, we're encouraging them to shoot the ball. We want to get up and down, and again, we want to empower our team to shoot shots and be aggressive offensively.
It's that modern basketball mentality at this point. If you have the shot, take it if you're open. And we joke at the station. We always say that you guys are like the Splash Sisters, just as a unit, with the amount of threes that we cover. So my last question here, what are your goals for the rest of the season? It might be self-explanatory, but in your words.
It's a hard question. Obviously, we have big goals, but we don't talk about that. I'd be corny, but like you said, Belichick, like we just want to have a great practice today. We had a tough game last night. Pittsfield got us. We have a tough game tomorrow, so we tell them we can't it can't bleed over into the next day. We can't still be mad about yesterday. Today's a new day, and when we win big games, the same thing. We can't, we're not having pizza parties the next day. We got to get back to work. We got to practice hard because with the new alignment with our league, there's no nights off. So if we're still thinking about Pittsfield today, then we're not preparing for South Hadley tomorrow. So we're trying to just, again, it's corny, and I used to play sports too, and I didn't like hearing it, but like we just have to take day by day, and our goal is just have a great practice today and show up and be super tough tomorrow when we play South Hadley.
I love it. And you know what? You say it's corny because it's just what coaches often say, but at the end of the day, they say it for a reason. It's a good winning method, and I think that shows in your guys' record. So, Coach, thanks so much for joining us today, and best of luck with everything you have, whether it's the practice today or what's down the line.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right, folks, it's now time for our Athlete of the Week, where we spoke with a senior at SciTech who's already eclipsed 1,000 points and now is continuing to light it up on the court. All right, everybody, I'm here with Denasia Banks, SciTech star point guard. Denasia, how are you doing today?
Good. You?
I'm doing okay. We made it through a monstrous blizzard for you to come here to the Western Mass News Studios, so I greatly appreciate that. Now, I think the number one thing on my mind is you just passed 1,000 points in your career. Yeah. Can you talk to us a little bit about what that accomplishment was like for you?
Honestly, the accomplishment for me was just like a lot. Like, it was a lot. I was expecting it the first game, honestly. Like, yeah. I was just ready, you know? And, like, now that I hit it, I'm just, like, thankful that I hit it, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been a successful season so far, but, you know, you're a senior now. So I'm interested, of your 4 years now at SciTech, what are some of the favorite memories you have that you can look back on?
Honestly, when we won the champion league, like when we got a banner and yeah, we won the conference basically.
Yeah, it's hard to beat banner night. I mean, that's the best it can be. Now, I am interested. I pointed this out before we started shooting. The Denasia chain.
Yep.
Is there a story behind that, or is that just, you know, that's just the regular?
Honestly, that's just the regular. Honestly.
Hey, I love it. That's some, you know, it's Allen Iverson type stuff you're bringing to SciTech here. Yeah, so obviously, though, I'm sure there are some challenges as well. What have been some of the difficult things you've overcame in your career here at SciTech?
The boxing one. Like, a lot of teams know how I play, so they always put a boxing one on me, but I always find a way to beat it, you know? So that's really a challenge. That's a challenge.
There you go. Yeah, look, you got to do what you got to do. You got to get through the challenge. Yeah, so now, of course, student athlete. I say this every time, but we've got student, of course, underlined, bolded. Mm-hmm. And, you know, this is your last year here at SciTech. Yeah. So I was wondering, do you have any sort of plans post-graduation, or is that just, you know, off beyond the horizon?
I just want to go to college, really. That's it. Like, after high school, I'm going to just go to college.
There we go. Do you have any favorite subjects in school right now, or you know, and how do you balance that, what you're doing in school with your athletics?
Honestly, my favorite always been ELA reading, but grades was never a problem for me. I make honor roll, so yeah.
There we go. All right, you hear that? Star on and off the court. You love to see it. So my last question for you here is something I've been asking some of the basketball players. If you had a professional player comp, whether that's an NBA player, WNBA player, who do you think it would be and why?
Caitlin Clark, because she shoots a lot of threes. And it just reminds me of me sometimes, you know?
There we go. Sharpshooter from SciTech. Love it. All right, so like I said, we're now going to get into our fast break here. 3 rapid-fire questions off the top of the dome. You can't think. You know, straight shoot it.
Okay.
All right, you ready? I ask this every time, so you already know what question it's going to be if you've been watching our other weeks. First question. On your Spotify right now, Apple Music, whatever it is, who is your #1 artist?
Drake.
Drake? Okay, all right. What era? What's your favorite era?
Like 2014, 2016.
All right, you know what? That's not a bad. So we're talking like what, Views era? Is that what we're looking at there? All right, I can't hate on that. All right, second question here. You mentioned Caitlin Clark is the player that you model yourself after, that you see, but I was wondering, who's your favorite player of all time?
LeBron James.
LeBron James. See, it's the second time in Massachusetts we've gotten a LeBron James answer. He is the king. I can't hate on that either. All right, my last question here. Pre-game meal. If you had to recommend one meal for anybody who's trying to be like Denasia Banks on the court, what's that going to be?
Candy.
Candy.
Candy gives you energy.
All right, there we go. Any specific candy or?
Skittles.
Skittles. All right, the Marshawn Lynch method. That's a solid 3 answers there. Denasia, thanks so much for joining us, and congratulations on being our Athlete of the Week. Now, Tyler, I'm going to send it back to you in the studio. Well, thank you, Tyler. And you hear that, folks? If you want some Denasia Banks-style performances, you know what to do. Grab yourself a bag of Skittles. Not sponsored, by the way. But anyways, if you know a special player making an impact both on and off the court, you can scan that QR code on your screen right now to nominate your athlete of the week, and they could be featured right here on Frozen Frenzy. All right, folks, you've got eyes. You can see the screen. It's now time to get into our Frozen 5 top 5 plays of the week. And as you should be able to remember, you can also submit your own top plays to our Share It tab on westernmassnews.com. But enough talk. Let's get into the plays. Starting at number 5, West Side's Jadiel Gonzalez passes it out to Jaden Guerrero on the logo. Bang! Looking like Curry out there with the deep 3. Number 4 in Longmeadow, Joe Martinez looking for somebody to get it into. Finds Jacob Malay at the top of the key, and that's cash for the Lancers. And then to Putnam for number 3. Sheehan drives in for Agawam, tries to put it up, but Kachon Wright denies him. And even if it got up, Victor Henry, I think he had that one covered too. Number 2, Amherst Chog. Chris Kamara gets the rebound and chucks it down the court to Mitchell Carey. He takes his time before showing off the hops and slamming it down. A little extracurricular after the points, but it's a crazy dunk regardless. And your number 1 play back to the Putnam game, Christian Levi misses the layup. Brownie board, but Levi steals it back, gives it to his big man who drops it down on the opponent's head. You love to see it. A couple of dunks this week. How often do you get that on Frozen Frenzy? I'm getting too excited here. So that's going to do it for us now. Stay warm, everybody, please, with this weather, and I'll see you next week.